This is still on 9.2, so Kali hasn't gotten gutted yet. That's why Kali got first picked. Let's talk about G2 draft, and then we'll go to Vitality draft. G2 has a team fight draft. Whenever you get Jarvan and Karthus on the same team, mostly you just want a team fight. These are team fight champions, and they work very well in a team fight. For Akali though, she can work as a split pusher. And split pushing Akali in combination of Karthus is actually something really strong that they can pull off. I'm pretty curious where the Karthus and the Jarvan go, because both can go top and both can jungle, so we'll figure out where they go. As for Vitality, they're running another signature Vitality draft. I think a lot of Vitality drafts are... The characteristic of a Vitality draft is winning bot lane. They love having winning bot lane or a bot lane that can fight a lot early. And early game jungler that can fight with it. And LeBlanc, they don't always pick LeBlanc, but they tend to pick aggressive mid lane to go with it too. And top lane is just filler a lot of times. So overall, what Vitality draft is going to focus on is getting priority with LeBlanc and Olaf and trying to affect bot side much as possible and getting 4-man bottom dives. Where G2 draft is a little bit more well balanced and they can team fight or they can split push also. Overall, both drafts are, I would say, pretty well balanced. It's not like Vitality comp can't go into team fighting. I like both drafts. I don't think neither team really entered the draft, so I'm pretty curious to see where this goes. One thing I'm super curious about is EU doesn't seem to like Sion that much. I think if this was Korea or even NA, Sion would have been picked in the first 2 rotations. And instead, Sion went unbanned the entire time. So let's go to the game itself. So it ended up being Karthus jungle and Jarvan top. Okay. Then Capsicali is just such a treat to watch. And Jizuke is no pushover either, so I'm pretty curious how this mid 2v2 would go. And G2 loves Karthus jungle, and Europe in general loves Karthus jungle, but I think G2 has been the team that's picked it the most and prioritized it the most. I actually think Karthus jungle is a little bit odd for Jankos, because Jankos is most known for early game pathing and being able to gank really well. But Karthus jungle doesn't really offer any of that. What Karthus jungle offers is mid game damage threat and also insanely good jungle clear and a second carry or second AP carry in the jungle. It's, I don't think stylistically what Jankos is good at historically, but it's still been really effective for G2, so I can't really say much about it. It's just kind of curious to see Jankos adapt to the meta and adapt in a really different way, because you can still get away with running stuff like Lee, Camille, or even a Leaf, but G2 is just so heavily prioritizing Karthus. Ooh, so, oh man, this is actually really bad from Perked. Let's see why this happened. Then Mowgli did a really good job of figuring out where there was worse and there wasn't worse, and he was able to get a good wraparound on Perked. And Perked was doing the Israel thing where you W and then E in lane to be able to proc the W. And he got heavily punished. Luckily he's running teleport, so he's not going to lose out on much. And another cool thing that's happening is the Vitality 80 carry. He's building Lucian with Doran Ring, so if he has Doran Ring as Lucian, he's probably also putting 3 points in W. It gives you a little bit of a better laning phase versus poke champions or in the champions that outrange you, because you can also poke them with W. Game's gonna be pretty stale from G2's side, I feel like, until a little bit later where Vitality will play aggressive as possible. Holy, oh my god, how the fuck did he live that? Just as I said it was going to be a little boring from G2 or a little actionless, Mickey X set up for flash flay gank, and Attila did like a really good job of dodging all the Karthus Qs, but Karthus still OP. I think they mainly picked Jarvan for the team comp. They needed something tanky, and they also needed something that can engage because they have a team fight comp and they don't have anything that can engage, so they picked Jarvan. But they could have also just picked Scion if they needed something tanky and that could engage, but I think it was like a player preference and they just went with Jarvan instead. Oh, Big Boy Choi, thank you for the sub. Wonder said he wanted to play a different champion to pad his stats this game. Did he actually say that? They wanted AD? Huh. I guess they wanted AD damage because they had Karthus and Akali, but they're okay with not having a tank. Urgot would definitely be better, but Urgot was banned, and Sion wasn't, so that's why I thought they should pick Sion. Well, I mean, this has been classically like Vitality's playstyle though, just playing through bottom and enabling bottom much as possible. It's just that this game, as much as they're enabling bottom, Karthus and Jarvan's really fed, so their team fight is going to be still really nasty from G2. They should recognize, what is that Olaf should be down here and backed a little bit earlier. Whew. Why not Aatrox? I'm pretty sure Aatrox is banned also. One thing that G2 bot lane does a lot is call Karthus bottom and do this lane gank. I've seen them do this lane gank setup so many times. It just... I guess it's a way that you can play out Karthus, because Karthus sucks at ganks itself, but Karthus is actually pretty decent at lane ganks, so they're bypassing it with that. It's just so weird to see a team play this way. Was Aatrox open? If Aatrox was open, then Aatrox top instead of Jarvan makes a comp stronger, but less engaged, and they probably wanted a comp that was a little bit more simpler and easier to play. Wonder said he wants to play a new champ every game. Oh man. I mean, I'm down for players trying out new champs, but it's just pick the champ that's good for the meta and that's good in the situation. This is what I mean regarding Karthus though and strong solo laners. The margin of error for solo kills becomes so much larger. Like G2K normally lives there if it's any other jungler other than Karthus, but because it's Karthus, like it's just really kind of shitty for G2K. Karthus farms so well too. Long as your solo laners can pressure enough and you never get invaded upon, Karthus is a really good jungle. Notice how they're never playing to actually really gank with Karthus, but a lot of times back up or sit in lane and wait. That's how they're playing Karthus. It seems like G2 is a team that understands Karthus really well. So yeah, this is like the bad situation when playing Karthus, where you get invaded on and you have to face check into people in your own jungle, because Vitality won bot lane so hard, like G2 is not really going to have control over bot lane. So imagine that in other lanes, like that's where Karthus becomes really shitty. And also, why the fuck was Cabochard so low HP there? Just in general, as Karthus, like you don't play the losing lanes, and when your lanes are losing and you get invaded, there's not much you can do. So that's something you really have to watch out for. Okay, so he TP'd behind them, and then just Israel and Karthus went on them. Ult kind of wasted. This was not the greatest teleport. Why did he even teleport there? Let's see. So they're sieging. Rest of his team's on caps. I guess when he started teleporting, yeah. When he started teleporting, the team needed to kind of react with him, but he's teleporting here and rest of the team's elsewhere, so he kind of got screwed. Here's the thing about AP carries that makes him balanced. So for AP carries, right? what makes them balanced is their damage isn't guaranteed. So they can have incredibly strong engages, they can have incredibly strong burst, they can have CC, but AD carries, their damage is really guaranteed, right? When you can't dodge a right click. So Karthus bypasses that rule where his ult and his E is just guaranteed damage, and when Karthus gets fed, there's honestly not that much counterplay. The counterplay is knock them away or play as, yeah, I mean, the counterplay is usually like knock Karthus away. That's the only counterplay. If he actually gets to you in the middle of a team fight, there's so little counterplay. And yeah, stuff like this, being able to help across the map and pairing really well with strong solos. The combat, like just playing against Caps Akali in itself is a nightmare, but playing against Caps Akali in combination with a Karthus must be so fucking gross to play against. I don't even feel like G2 really out. I mean, draft from G2 was good. Vitality draft. Both G2 and Vitality drafted exactly what they want, and G2's style is just much more stronger and much more forceful because it's based around mid, because it's based around scaling, because it's based around team fighting, where Vitality style and Vitality comp relies a lot on snowballing and snowballing off a bot lane. Oh man, the combination of Akali plus Thresh is actually so nice to see, and how well they play it. I would never want to play versus G2 and give them Karthus. I think Wonder and Cats are way too strong of a solo laners to give G2 Karthus. And yeah, how you beat a Karthus is not through the Karthus. You win the lanes and then you invade the Karthus. And Wonder and Caps are just way too strong for teams to actually beat G2's Karthus, in my opinion. They would have to get destroyed in lane. And I don't see destroying Caps or destroying Wonder as like a solid win condition that people can play through. Oh, that goal difference. Once Vitality's comp stops snowballing, it's really hard to play out the comp because it's really hard to fight for vision because you don't have anyone that can really face check in. Even a Braum face checking into a Thresh and a Karthus is really dangerous. You also don't have any form of real engage, so once you're behind, you're kind of at the mercy of the enemy team's engage. It's really hard to get vision. There's just so many things that makes this comp really hard to play for Vitality once they stop snowballing, and which is what happened this game. Starting with Karthus ult, Caps going in. Wait, did Karthus ult get cancelled? It seemed like some people didn't take that much damage. Oh, Rumble probably just used the shield. Oh, Rumble trying to teleport out. And yeah. Damn, this is just too easy. Karthus Akali go in. Okay, Rumble's shielded, that's why. Oh, Braum's shield can cancel Karthus damage? Okay, so that's how Braum and Rumble kind of survived the Karthus ult, but what the fuck is Avant, Lucian, and Olaf gonna do? Why isn't NA playing Karthus that much? They just don't value it as much. So what happens is, why there's a lot of regional picks and picks that are unique to regions is a certain one region plays that champion, and then in scrims, they'll play against that champion. They'll be like, oh, this shit's really strong, we should play it too, and then they end up playing it. But because there aren't really that many Karthus jungle players other than Rush. I know Rush played a little bit of Karthus jungle, and NA teams just are sticking with something more standard. Start with Karthus ult. It seems like Vitality built enough MR where it's not that problematic that the fights are starting with Karthus ult, but the actual team fight itself is problematic still. Karthus ult isn't just taking off half their HP with just the ult though. It's just the actual fight itself that's so hard. Damn, this was actually so stompy. Vitality didn't really have an answer to the Karthus Akali. They just let the Karthus farm. In a competitive game, if you ever let the Karthus just farm and they have strong solos, it's really hard to win. You need to actively play against the Karthus and make sure the Karthus can't get activated. Alright, damn. This doesn't make me more scared of G2, it just makes me feel like, why the fuck did Vitality just let G2 run their game? It was obvious that they were going to play their Karthus game plan and they just let them have it and they just let them run it so easily.